The Atelier series of games are a franchise that has exploded in popularity over the last year, almost single-handedly due to the success of the character design of Ryza, the lead in her title game. The popularity is more relative, however, bringing the Atelier series from practical obscurity to actual mainstream attention, but rather than addressing the monolith in Atelier Attention Ryza, I will instead be looking at a little-known game that released earlier the same year as Ryza, the surprise fourth game in the trilogy of Arland Atelier games, Atelier Lulua. Lulua takes place some 10 years or so after the conclusion of Atelier Meru, and in real game time, the 10th anniversary of the release of the first game of Arland trilogy, Atelier Rorona. Furthermore, the title character, Lulua, is actually the daughter of said Rorona, a whole lot of firsts in terms of the Atelier legacy. I have received all the endings, the PlayStation trophies, and defeated the DLC boss on the hardest difficulty, so I think I'm as good a source as any to delve into this video game. A short review or recommendation of the game comes as follows. The game is enjoyable enough for a newcomer. The characters are a good mix of heart and comedy. Their coming together feels natural, and most of the interactions are quite wonderful. Some of the enjoyment does come from understanding the characters from the games before, where Lulua is absent, but Lulua does a good job at creating intrigue because of these mysteries. This drives you to want to play these old games, and the story itself also develops in a really interesting way and goes to some crazy places, which is exciting for veterans and new players alike. The systems of Lulua are all easily explained and understandable, and the battles have a good difficulty scaling. The worst parts of Lulua include the alchemy riddle system, where plot points and item recipes are discovered through game actions vaguely hinted at in this book. On my first play, I tried utilizing the hints to solve the riddles in-game, but they were just too vague and frustrating that I gave up on solving them myself and almost exclusively utilized a walkthrough for the riddles. A departure from the game I do consider to be a bit of a bad play experience, and given that riddle is essential for all aspects of the Atelier Lulua experience, I really consider this to be a huge demerit. The second, less atrocious caveat is the real delocalization of a home base. Lulua bounces between three main hubs, and your journey spreads outward from these. This isn't great for a couple of reasons. First, story points or needed ingredients could be at any of the three hubs, which just materializes as continuous travel back and forth across the world map, which is just time-consuming and annoying. Additionally, the lack of a base city causes a lack of familiarity with the lay of the land. The blacksmith is in Arland only, but you can take requests at any of the three cities. There are shops in every city, but they all sell different things. There's Orthogalaxian near Arland, but Felsgalaxian near Arles or Arclis, or I don't know. Both of them are plot relevant, but for different but very similar reasons, and you're just left, just confused and lost as you're either wandering back and forth between towns or worse, Googling, where do I even trigger Nico's character events? What's going on here? Both of these systems I consider pretty bad for newcomers, so while Lulua is playable and enjoyable enough for a new player, I think you'd have a better go at starting with Atelier Sophie, or perhaps the new Ryza, though I haven't played it, so I don't actually know. But now, taking a deeper look for the pros of the Atelier scene, how does Lulua compare to everything else? So First off, coming into Lulua having played the Atelier trilogy is unbelievable. You're already enthralled in the characters just because she's freaking Rarona's daughter. Like, what does that even mean? Totori and Mimi are adorable. Cole-kun and Lionella are all grown up, and the hints and whispers of Hagel and Ixel, and of course, the famed Esti are tons of fun. Of course, Rarona joins the fray as a main party member, though she still can't teach for shit. And seeing another side of her as a caring mother is great for deepening her existence. Seeing Meruru being also completely unable to teach but saved by Pianya out of nowhere to be Lulua's mentor is phenomenal. Walking around Arland is just nostalgic, fun, and seeing all the characters together is grand. And of course, our man Sturkey is up to his same games and is looking slick as ever. Luckily, Lulua only thrusts Rarona and Sturkey into your main party, so you're left plenty of room to meet the new characters. Lulua herself is the perfect continuation of the Arland series, ditzy like her mother while independent, fun, and with her own obsessions and character tics. Effa, the perfect older sister, childhood friend, mother, all wrapped into one. Aurel, the male tsundere, which Ateliers freaking love including. Fixus, the surprise mix of either 100% joke or 100% serious, nowhere in between. And Nico, the hunk. All of which create a lovely party full of fun, unique interactions. The story is where Lulua faces an interesting crossroad. It does wonders in creating intrigue in the story, which is surprising and novel for an Atelier game, especially an Arland one. The existence of Mana contributes wholeheartedly to this, and her relationship with Fixus is one huge question mark throughout the series. And most importantly, the defining riddle and those points in the story where the audio just cracks and it shifts to monotone before Lulua comes back to her cheerful self are fantastic. These are all great while playing, but some of the reveals near the end of the story, a la Fix, are quite lackluster. The overall story focuses on Stia and her relationship to the world and with Lulua. Stia and Lulua form a very natural, caring relationship, and all the trouble and turmoil of the plot is well deserved. Stia is lacking in her relationship with the other characters of the party, but she doesn't feel completely out of place, and I'm going to continue with story spoilers for a bit, so if you don't want to hear that, skip ahead to this time right down here. Okay? Okay. So, to the surprise of no one, Riddle is a future diary sent to the past by Lulua herself, kind of. Lulua goes for parallel world time-traveling stuff, and it's assumed all of the fades to monochrome are differing world lines where Lulua made a bad choice. Luckily, none of this is known by these seemingly omnipotent characters like Mana. This doesn't really play into the story of saving Stia, as Lulua kind of just does that on her own, but of course, she does utilize all of the old knowledge of the future Luluas through the riddle. The time travel stuff more starts to play after Stia has been successfully saved. It is here that Lulua just goes off the rails. This is great. Lulua decides to make not one but two physics-destroying items. One, to travel to these other timelines, just disregarding rules, and one, to prohibit a timeline from spreading at a target event or action. So, the plan is as follows. Go to the other world lines, save Stia, and then prohibit other world lines to break off from the Save Stia event. This means that all of the timelines stemming from this Save Stia event will be forced to have the same state of Stia being saved. Make sense? This way, no world lines will not have Stia not being saved. Triple negative. Get there. Brilliant. So, how this plays out in the game is equally brilliant. The parallel world you travel to is like grainy and dark, and the characters are color shifted, and it's just freaking cool. You save Stia, freeze the event, and you're good. I assume the idea is that you do this until the end of time for every world line, so Stia must be saved, which is just great. The problems here are obvious, but the egregious one in my mind is that these items force Lulua to be the most powerful alchemist ever. It comes up in the game too, Lulua just makes the Philosopher's Stone and Pi, relatively early in the game and life compared to Rorona and every other alchemist, and then she makes these plot items to save Stia, even though every other character had no idea how to, and then this insane time travel world line manipulating parallel nonsense, Lulua, she's just straight OP. So does this mean the story is bad? No, it's good, it's interesting, it's intriguing, fun, ridiculous. No, it's really got it all. I can see it being polarizing, but I'm pretty solid in the it's good camp. And finally, the world of Arland is delved into and explained through mainly Mana just relating stuff to the end of the world, kind of like a Dusk trilogy. But this also ends up explaining places like Knight's Domain and all of these various galaxians, which is just a pleasant treat. And lastly, this brings us to the discussion of the systems of Lulua, the true core for any Atelier fan. I mentioned the riddle situation being bad for newcomers, but as a veteran player, I got no qualms about using walkthroughs and the like. The interrupt item mechanic is fantastically fun, and especially whenever Lulua's ability to replicate the item triggers, super satisfying to use. The ultimate abilities are sick, and Effa's support abilities in particular were super stellar. Combat was super intuitive and super fun. The alchemy plays out much less intuitively. The elemental cost and quality requirements were standard enough, and the boost items were smart and useful. The traits were complicated somewhat because there's a variety of these super traits which only improve other certain traits, and you had to be careful when combining these as to not trigger the traits other than the one you want, but this has occurred before in Atelier history, so it was a fine addition. The interesting addition was the awakening effects. These on the surface are simple, doing things like adding element values or boosting equipment effects, but the crazy thing that they can do is change the class or type of an item. For example, Awakening Effect Bomb gives the created item the bomb type. What this does is pretty well allow you to use any item as any other item type. And what this allows you to do through long, complicated chains of synthesis is to get any strong awakening effect onto any other item. So for this example, I want to craft a lightning bomb using the witch salve, because on bombs, the witch salve has the awaken effect of temporary defense debuff level 5. But the lightning bomb only takes either gunpowder or supplements, so I need to get the witch's salve, which is type medicine, into the gunpowder or the supplement. And for this example, I chose the gunpowder type. So the item that gives awakened gunpowder is this, the tar liquid. So I need to get the tar liquid into either poison or seafood type to be able to use it in the synthesis of the witch's salve. In this example, I chose seafood. So, next, what gives the awakened seafood? Well, that is this, the guardian curry. And this takes spices. So, Sorry, I'm already confused. But the tar liquid only takes supplements, so I need to get the guardian curry into the supplement type. What gives awakened supplement? That is the rainbow supplement. So I need to get the rainbow supplement into the spices category. What gives awakened spice? That's this, the fish sauce, which I need to get into either water or elixirs, but luckily water is very easy, and the fish sauce takes water, which, if you use a distilled water, gives it the awakened water. So that is our synthesis chain. So let's take a look and see if we succeed. So awaken water, boom, synthesize. Fish sauce, give it the quality boosting traits. Hopefully it got awakened water. Now we'll synthesize. Awaken water, which means we have to use the new fish sauce. It's so easy to mess this up. So now we've got awakened spice, awaken plant 2, cool. Let's synthesize. Quality boosts. After that, this was awakened spice, so we use it in the curry, I think. Awakened spice, we want awakened supplement. Whatever. So now this did we do it? This was the seafood with awakened supplement, which we want to put into the tar liquid. Awakened seafood. Using quality boost to keep our quality up. Quality, professional quality up. Now it has awakened seafood, so we can use it in the witch's elixir. Awakened seafood. Awakened seafood. Okay, everything looks good, looks good. And now, hopefully, we can use our newfound... Where is it? What did we just synthesize? Oh, it was this. No. Wait, where's the witch's salve? Did I not give it the awaken effect? I wanted awakened seafood, right? No, I want awakened gunpowder. See, it's so hard. It's so confusing, so difficult to keep this stuff up. Is that what I want? Lightning bomb with, there it is, okay. Now we'll have the awaken effect I want of the temporary defense debuff, level 5. And there it is. So it's a long, complicated chain, and it's very easy to mess up, but that is, for example, how you get the desired awakening effect in a long chain of synthesis. So this is going on while you have to consider the elemental components for the effects you want, while still considering the traits you want. Even with walkthroughs literally telling you what to do, these long, complicated chains of synthesis, you can still very easily mess up at any time. But this is fun. I wholeheartedly enjoyed figuring out chains of synthesis to do the things I wanted. It's complicated, time-consuming, unintuitive, and confusing, but it was so much fun. To my amazement, the synthesis well digs deeper. To my surprise, certain items have certain effects that trigger during synthesis. Some of these are obvious, like ingots, which give stat boosts to things like weapons, but what is crazy about these hidden effects is that they are not displayed outright on the finished item. The stats boost, for example, is hidden in the weapon's stats. The one that blew my mind deep into my endgame playthrough DLC is the item use boosting items, the hidden effect of Zettel and Sylph's Breath. When you use these specific items as a synthesis material, the number of uses of a bomb, for example, increases. So, now for my end game synthesis, I need to consider, of course, the quality, but also the cost for the traits. I have to consider the elements for the effects and the awakening effects, as well as now considering the hidden effects. So what we want to do here is to synthesize a Na gamma, and we want it with the traits multiply, monstrous, and uses +2. And we want to use a butt ton of Zettels in order to increase its uses. So let's get her done. First, we'll go and take a look if I've even got monstrous. I do. It's on plants and vegetables. Okay. Alright, 10 minutes. First item done. Got all the 3 traits that I want on a 999 quality rainbow supplement. Good. This is awakened gunpowder, not awakened bomb. Maya. I always go the wrong way. Alright, awakening gunpowder Zettel. Number 2, almost 20 minutes in, no big deal. So I need bomb, so I need a water or a supplement Na. So I need this with awaken water or supplement. Alright, Awaken Bomb, Zettel. Third item, 30 minutes in. And so the last item is a cheat item from the DLC. I believe it's this one, the Grand Material. Yeah. So I need 1 bomb and 1 gunpowder, the same. I need them in mystery. That sucks. The hell gives Awaken mystery? See, that's not what I wanted. And I don't have any sticky trash! Wait, I'm in Arland. She sells stinky trash. Oh boy. My god, it's nighttime! Oh yeah, give me that stinky trash. Okay, so I want Awaken What do I want? No, I just want Awaken Supplement. Awaken Gunpowder. 4th item. 36, 40-ish minutes, yeah. Awaken Bomb is the last one. Alright, next item. Last item. Actually, no, I think we're good. Na Gamma. Rainbow Supplement with multiply uses too monstrous. Bomb. I want Grand Material and the Zettel with uses +3. Grand Material and Zettel with uses +3. Alchemic Mastery, Alchemic Mastery. Multiply uses too monstrous. Double Zettel with uses +3. Is that all I wanted? I should have saved. I'm an idiot. It only has 7 uses. Oh, multiply. Use +2. Monstrous. There we go. 15 uses. Na Gamma. 40 minutes. That was fun. I think We may have had some or many of these things in the other games, but this has been the most involved I've ever felt in Atelier Synthesis in a long while. So, in conclusion, the characters are fantastic, the story is cheesy but great, and the systems are easy on the surface but run deep and are a blast to delve into. I think Lulua has one of the best synthesis systems in Atelier, and it makes me want to put Lulua up there as one of the greats of Atelier. Perhaps I would even put it as my number 3 of all time after Robera and Eska and Logi. Perhaps. Thanks for listening to my first deep dive into an Atelier game. I've only ever done one super surface level discussion about getting into Atelier. Otherwise, I've got some anime videos, and if you're deep, specific, I've also got Love Live School Idol Festival scouting videos. So let me know what you think of Atelier Lulua or how it compares to any of the other games in the series. Let me know what you think. Ciao.